What is going on, guys? Greggles TV. I'm going to walk you through setting up your Galaxy Note 10, Note 10 Plus. This is what I do. Obviously, you can do what I do or do it your own way, but this is going to be what I do, and I kind of do a lot. Once you get it set up, for the most part, everything will be saved to Samsung Cloud, so you really don't have to do this every single time. So let's jump right into it. First thing you're going to do is set up your home screen. So find a blank area on your home screen and press and hold, and go into home screen settings. In here, I have home and app screens, so that means you can go in here and you can set it up to be home screens only, kind of like the way the iPhone does it, where you just have home screens, you don't have an app launcher, but I do home and app screens, and that's the default, the way it's set up. Also in here, I do 5x5 and 4x6, that's the home screens and app screens, how many apps you have, like 5 rows by 5 apps, 4 rows by 6 apps or whatever. And then apps button, I have that turned off by default. App icon badges, it's gonna show with numbers, so anytime you get app notifications, it's gonna show the app along with a number letting you know how many notifications. It's kind of the same way like iPhones do it as well from the past. Lock home screen layout, I have that turned off because I like to use this with my mom and my dad. That way, when they can't move around their home screen apps, because they tend to do that, especially on Android. I have it locked on them, but otherwise I have it turned off. When new apps are downloaded, I have that turned on. So whenever I download a new app, it automatically gets added to my home screen. Swipe down for notification panel allows you to swipe anywhere on your home screen, in your notification panel. This is your notification panel, will come down. So I have that turned on. Definitely turn that on. It's gonna make, since these phones are so tall now, it'll just make everything reach a lot easier. And then I have rotate to landscape mode turned off. And other than that, let's go into the settings. So swipe down from the top, go into the settings. That's the little gear right here. And let's jump into connections and click on Wi-Fi. Click on advanced in the top right. And a couple of things in here. Switch to mobile data. I have that turned on. Use mobile data whenever your Wi-Fi internet connection is slow or unstable. That's something you're definitely gonna want. Turn on Wi-Fi automatically. This one's cool. Turns on Wi-Fi automatically when you're in places you use it frequently, and turned off elsewhere. So it's gonna save battery life, obviously, a little bit. If you're in a location where Wi-Fi, you don't either ever use it, maybe in your car, obviously. Your car usually doesn't have Wi-Fi. Also, when you're at home, if you have Wi-Fi turned off because maybe you had it turned off for whatever reason, it'll automatically turn it on because it knows you're in a location where you use Wi-Fi, so it'll automatically do that. Another cool one is network notification. Receive notifications when open networks are in range are detected. I have that turned off. That's a pain in the butt. That happens to pop up a lot. I'm walking around and someone's network is open. I turn that off so it doesn't give me a notification letting me know that. I would definitely recommend turning that off because it's a pain in the butt seeing that all the time. Go back here, and everything else I pretty much leave the same for connections. Next, I'm gonna go into sounds and vibrations, and because I'm not a big vibration guy in here, so if you go down to system sounds and vibration, you can go in here and you can turn some of this stuff on. Touch sounds, I generally turn it off. Sometimes I keep it on, but basically this is where you'll turn it on and off if you don't want to hear the touch sounds. Screen lock sounds, you can turn that off. Charging sounds, you can turn that off as well if you don't want to hear every time you plug in your charger. Keyboard sound, you can turn it off or on. Keyboard vibration, I always turn that off. I don't like feeling the phone vibrate when I type. Same thing with touch vibration, I turn that off. A lot of people like it, I don't, so I keep those two off. Going back to the main screen of settings, go into display. Adaptive brightness, I turn it off. I like to be able to control it the way I want it, because generally, as you get older, you'll notice that maybe it's a little bit harder to see your screen, so you want it brighter. So I like messing with it, because I know even in a dark atmosphere, it'll go really low, too low for my eyes, so I like to control it myself, so I turn adaptive brightness off. Blue light filter is a cool one. I have it turned off right this second because I'm doing this video, but I have it set to a custom schedule. You can do sunrise to sunset if you don't want to mess around with it, but otherwise I do custom schedule at 9 p.m. It automatically makes it kind of a yellow light, a little bit more yellow looking on here. And then I have it end at 7 a.m. It goes back to this regular bluish kind of look. And you can mess with this if you want, but basically this is good to have on to make it easier to sleep and not bother your eyes as much. That's why you have the blue light filter. Also in here, screen mode, I have it set to vivid. I think by default it's set to natural. You can see what the color looks like. Vivid, I mean, it makes the colors pop. I love the way it looks, and then from there you can make it more cool, more warm if you want. And you can even go into advanced settings to make the white balance even more. But basically, I kind of leave that stuff alone. I leave the in the middle for the white balance, but basically change screen mode to vivid. Also on font size and style, again, since my eyes aren't as great as they used to be, I kind of put it in the middle with the font size, make it a little bit bigger. You can also choose the bold font if you want. Font style, I use Samsung One. I think that's a cool one, so I choose that one. Screen zoom, I don't really mess with it, but you can if you want. You can make it larger or smaller if you want. Screen timeout, I know it says 5 minutes, but it's just for this video. I do set that to 30 seconds. Edge screen, I don't use this a lot. And you know what, I'm gonna turn it off. But it's basically this little thing right here allows you to use shortcuts for your apps and things like that. So you can mess with that if you want, but I'm gonna turn that off actually. Edge lighting is cool. It's just gonna light up the screen for different things. If you click on it, it'll tell you, show edge lighting. If your phone rings and it's face down, it'll light up the screen. It's kind of cool, I would keep that on. Another important one in display, before I forget, kind of jumping around here, screen resolution, tap on that and make sure you have it set to WQHD. It's gonna be by default full HD, 2280 by 1080. Switch it to 3040 by 1440. The reason being, you're paying a huge premium for the Galaxy Note 10 Plus and you want the best resolution. That's why. And it doesn't really affect the battery that much, trust me. You want it. You want the best looking screen possible. So change it to that and then hit apply. Navigation bar, click on that because basically you can move these around if you want. You can make it so your back button, if you see I have my back button on the bottom right, you can make it so it's on the left hand side. If you maybe you're coming from a Pixel phone or something and you like it on the left hand side, you can switch those really easily. You can also do full screen gestures. As you can see here, if I click on that, it'll make it so that I swipe up from the bottom middle, it'll go home, and then from the back button on the bottom right or left, depending upon how you switch it. But I like to have the navigation button still. I think that works best. Accidental touch protection, I would definitely recommend turning that on. I think it's a must. It'll just help with accidental touches. Touch sensitivity as well. If you have a screen protector on there, I would definitely recommend turning that on as well. Or maybe if you think the screen is too sensitive, keep it off. Other than that, let's take a step back. Next, let's jump into lock screen. And under lock screen, I like smart lock, so jump into smart lock. This is a cool one. Once you're in here, this is a great place to go to keep your phone unlocked in certain situations. For instance, trusted devices. Anytime my phone is connected to one of these devices, whatever Bluetooth device I have it set up to, it will automatically keep the phone unlocked. I love that. So go in here and you can mess with it. Also trusted places, I'm not gonna jump in there, but basically when you're in certain locations, it'll keep it unlocked. For instance, at home, I always have it unlocked because usually when you're at home, you shouldn't have it to be worried about it being locked. Maybe you're at work, you want it unlocked, you're in your car, that's a good place for trusted places because of Bluetooth. So certain things like that, I would do it. Next, go into secure lock settings. And in here, you have a couple of different things. You can make your pattern visible or not. Lock instantly with your side key, which basically is your power button. Auto factory reset, this is a good one in case you're worried about your phone being stolen or whatever. After 50, and the data that's on it being stolen. After 15 incorrect attempts to unlock your phone, it will be reset to factory default settings. I would turn that on just to be safe. Someone steals your phone, even if they after 15 incorrect attempts, it's gonna basically delete the phone. Always on display, that's when your phone is at this point and it's gonna automatically, it's fairly dim, hopefully you can see it, but it does show my my always on display. It shows the time and stuff. Let me unlock that. And I have that as show as always. You can have it tap to show if you want to save some battery or show it on a schedule. I have it show always and I have it turned on. It's a feature of the phone, and it just makes it so you don't have to always turn on your phone to see if you have a notification or see if you're just checking the time or anything like that. So I definitely have that to show as always. And let's go into biometrics and security. I have face recognition set up so I can easily unlock it with my face. It makes it a little less secure in terms of, if it's not the most secure face unlock recognition if you're worried about someone stealing your phone and getting all the data, but I think 99.9% of the people will be fine with that. So I use face recognition on there. It allows me to unlock the phone with my face. Fingerprints, I have 2 set up. Biometric preferences, you can go in here and, turn off the screen transition effect if you want it to feel a little bit faster. Take a step back. Accounts and backup. This is a good one. I would definitely recommend, if you have not already, create a Samsung account so that your phone gets back up to Samsung Cloud. When you do this, you're going to be able to have the ability to basically back up all of your stuff, and it's going to back up your contacts and your messages. You can see right here, you can back up your calendar, your clock, your settings. That's a big one. Bixby Home, your home screen, the way it looks, so your apps, your documents, your music, all that stuff. I think that's very important to back up. And it's free. They give you 15 gigabytes for free. So it just makes your life easier. If your phone gets stolen, lost, broken, whatever it is, it's going to make setting up the phone a lot easier to restore from. Let's take a step back to the main screen of settings and go into advanced features. This is going to be one we're probably going to definitely do a lot of stuff in. Let's check out. Under advanced features, go into accessories, fast wireless charging. I would have that turned on. It should be turned on by default, but just make sure it's turned on, because if you get the fastest wireless charger they have, it'll take advantage of that. Side keys, another big one. I've done a video on this previously, but if you haven't seen that one, you have the ability to quick launch your camera by double tapping this button. I have that turned on. Otherwise, if you don't care about doing that, you can have it open Bixby, or you can have it open an app. And if you can go in here and you can have it open a specific app, you can choose the app you want. Maybe you want it to be Facebook. If you choose Facebook, you can double tap this button and it'll automatically open, again, whatever app you have it set to. I have it set to quick launch camera, and then press and hold. I have it set to power off menu. By default, it's Wake Bixby. I don't think that's important enough. So power off menu, you can just press and hold this and it'll automatically bring up your power menu to power off your phone or restart it. Reduce animations, it just makes your phone feel faster. So when when you're messing around with your phone, I have it turned on. So if you want your phone to feel ultra fast, make sure that is turned on. Motions and gestures in here. This is another important one. Lift to wake, I should have had that turned on, I didn't. Also smart stay. So lift to wake is important. Basically, when you lift your phone up, it's gonna wake the screen. Double tap to wake. When you double tap the screen, it's gonna wake it up. Again, I think that's important. It makes it so you don't have to always press these buttons. Smart stay, it's gonna, if it notices you're looking at the screen, it'll keep the screen on. Smart alert is going to be your phone will vibrate when you pick it up after missing calls or receiving messages if you have that turned on. Easy mute, I have that turned on as well. Mutes incoming calls and alarms by putting your hand over the screen or turning your phone face down. Turn it off if you don't want that to be. One hand mode, I don't turn that on. Palm swipe to capture, basically it'll allow you to run your palm over the screen and it allows you to capture a screenshot. Video enhancer, turn that on if you want to enhance the image quality of your videos to enjoy brighter and more vivid colors. It'll turn that for all your video apps that you have. I have it turned on. I think it makes it a little bit more enjoyable. Take a step back. Also under advanced features, you might want to turn this one on. It's going to send an SOS message. So basically, if you have it turned on, You press the side key 3 times quickly, it's 1, 2, 3, to send a quick alert to your emergency contact while you're in an emergency situation. It can send a picture, it can send an audio recording, and basically it'll send it to, if you have it turned on, it'll send it to someone specific or multiple people. It's really good if you're, I guess you're a kid, or maybe you're a female, or wherever, maybe you're a guy too, and it'll send emergency information, your location, a picture, blah, 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 to a person, letting them know you're in an emergency situation. Now that you're on your home screen, what you want to do next is go into your camera. So launch your camera, wherever you may see it, and click the gear in the top left. And there's a couple of things we want to change in here. For instance, rear video size, change it to, have it 16:9, but resolution, tap on this little downward pointing arrow and change it to 3840 by 2160. Why? It's going to make your video look the best it can look. The one above it, 60 frames per second, just makes it a little bit more fluid, but I would just keep it at the 3840 2160, which will be at 30 frames per second. Again, it's going to make your video look the best it can. Once you choose that, you want to hit your back button and go into front video size. Change that to 3840 by 2160 as well. It's a must needed one. Again, it's going to make your front video look the best it can at 4K. Once you choose that, hit your back button. Make sure video stabilization is on. It should be by default, but just make sure it is. Location tags, I have that turned on as well. It just keeps it, when you're looking through your videos, it'll place it in the correct city and state. If you don't want that on, just turn it off. Shutter sound, I generally turn that off. I didn't realize it was on, so I turned it off as well. And camera modes, you can go in here and there's a couple things. Keep using last mode. I kind of like that. So if I was using my video last, next time I go into my camera, I'll remember I was using video, or vice versa. If I was taking a front-facing video photo or rear-facing photo, it'll just remember that mode. I keep that on. And then modes, you can have these turned on and off and stuff to keep your different modes turned on. And that's what I use for my camera settings. And swipe down from the top twice. And this is going to be where your quick toggles are. And you can do some other stuff within here. For instance, if you want to, the one I'm looking for is Dolby Atmos. I would definitely turn this on. If you just enhance, and what you want to do is turn it on and it should show up colored. And by the way, press and hold it, and you should see it on as well. But I have it set to auto, so it optimizes sound automatically for whatever I'm listening to. And you can see right here, experience breakthrough audio for media playback that flows above and beyond and around you. So basically it just enhances the sound that comes out of the speakers of your phone. Another one I have on is night mode. It just turns my, these backgrounds black and blue, just makes it a little bit easier on my eyes. Otherwise it's set to, you'll see, white and gray. So probably the last one that I have on, and that's kind of like the way I have my phone set up. Let me know if there's anything you guys customize on your phone. It's a quick run through of, I feel like, setting up your phone the best it can be, especially with Galaxy phones. They have so many options, and obviously there's some that I left out. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'll see you guys down the road. Peace!